What's up guys, this is John. The greenest month of the year is just around the corner, and with it come a slew of new games for you to check out. Not to mention a very special system is making its way to the consumer market as well. So here are the top games you should be watching in March. The biggest launch of the month isn't even a game, as the Nintendo Switch makes its grand debut on March 3rd. With it comes the next title in the Zelda franchise, Breath of the Wild. If you love open world games like Dragon Age and Shadow of the Colossus, with all of the appeal of a polished Zelda game, then you may want to pick up the Switch and snag this game while you're at it. If not, it'll be released on the Wii U as well. You can expect to see a lot of the same familiarities from previous Zelda games, like the Master Sword, the Korok, Epona, and the Gorons as well, but just evident from the gameplay we've seen, this game is going to be absolutely packed full of new and exciting stuff. There will be plenty of puzzles to solve along the way. In fact, you pretty much start the game off in a puzzle you have to solve just to get to the main world. The combat is real time, meaning like pretty much every other Zelda game, except this time around you may need to get creative in order to take down foes. From throwing magical bombs to climbing enemies just to attack a weak spot on their back, Breath of the Wild is sure to keep you engaged in pondering each move in every battle. Not to mention some of these boss battles look absolutely stunning. Seriously, if you haven't played a Zelda game in a while or at all, check this title out. It comes out March 3rd alongside the Switch and will be released for the Wii U as well. Next up is Ghost Recon Wildlands. This is the 10th installment in the Ghost Recon series, but the first ever to feature an open world environment. Ubisoft has described it as one of the largest open world games they've ever published, so you can expect plenty of ground to cover. The game is in third person while roaming around, giving orders and lobbing grenades, but switches to first person when you aim down the sights. You play as a member of the Ghosts, an elite military team in the US Army. Set in Bolivia during the summer of 2019, your goal is to help dismantle the Santa Blanca drug cartel's influence in the country, especially after the torture and murder of DEA agent Ricky Sandoval. Basically, it's like a modern version of Narcos, but in game form. So if you like that series, along with the Far Cry games, Just Cause 3, and Grand Theft Auto 5, this game is right up your alley. You can expect Ghost Recon Wildlands to drop on March 7th for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Next is Nier Automata, an action role-playing adventure from Platinum Games, known for Metal Gear Rising, Bayonetta 2, and Star Fox Zero, so you know the combat should be clean and stylish. Nier Automata takes place thousands of years after the original Nier in a post-apocalyptic Earth. You take the role of a combat android from the Yora units and stride across another huge open-world environment. The combat is all real-time rather than turn-based. You can earn experience through battles, much like every other RPG. While your character, 2B, has swords as primary weapons, you also have a ranged weapon called the Pod, which you can customize special attacks for. Anything from a laser that vaporizes your foes to a hammer that crushes them, the Pod is a useful tool that helps you overcome tribulations. You will also be able to apply different buffs and customizations to your characters by using what are called chips in the game, which can be purchased from shops or picked up from enemies. One interesting feature I wanted to note of this game is how you can use your death to your advantage. Since you're an android, when you die by succumbing to enemy fire, your body is left where it fell. Your data, and I guess brain if you will, is sent back to another android body. At that point, it's up to you to go back and retrieve your old body, which you can use for parts and help you upgrade and learn moves, or you can move on with the game and leave it behind. A really cool feature that I just haven't seen in other games before. If you enjoyed games such as Xenoblade Chronicles, Final Fantasy 15, and any of the Tales games, Nier Automata will be right up your alley. Not to mention the cyberpunkish feel behind the game will appeal to any Blade Runner fan out there. You can expect Nier Automata to drop March 7th for PS4 and March 10th for Steam. Next up is Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm gonna be completely honest here, I've never actually played a Mass Effect game, but this game just looks incredible. Right off the bat, it's absolutely gorgeous, which is a huge plus. The game will be in third person, like other Mass Effect titles. You take the control of either Scott or Sarah Ryder, depending on who you choose. Just like previous Mass Effect games, you can customize the characters as you wish. One distinct difference between this title and previous installments is that your skills are not limited to individual classes. You can now assign skills from any tree and develop your character based on those skills you choose. The game takes place in the Andromeda Galaxy between the second and third games, and you will have many different planets to explore and accomplish different quests on. You'll be able to scan planets for resources from your ship, the Tempest, and excavate those planets for resources to help you on your journey. Expect the same dialogue interaction from previous games using a radial command menu in which you can choose the path of the conversation depending on what you say. During combat, you'll no longer be able to pause mid-game. The action keeps going, which can make your ride a little bit bumpier during a stressful situation. Keep this in mind before going into a tough battle. If you enjoyed, obviously, the previous Mass Effect titles, but also enjoyed games like Destiny and Dragon Age, Mass Effect Andromeda is the game for you. It drops March 21st for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And the last release for March is, well, it's not actually an individual game, but it's a DLC, Dark Souls 3's The Ring City. This is the final DLC for From Software's final chapter in the Souls series, and it's looking to be a doozy. The developers suggested to clear the game through at least the Lothric Castle before trying out this DLC. The DLC will add an entirely new world to the Dark Souls 3 franchise, with plenty of new horrifying enemies and bosses for you to fall to. But along with that, plenty of new weapons and armors to indulge in as well. If you haven't tried out any of the Souls games or Bloodborne, be aware that these games are very unforgiving, so if The Ring City has you intrigued to pick up the series, get ready to resist the temptation of driving your fist through the TV, unless you're just that good. However, if you have played Bloodborne and other titles in the Souls franchise, then you can expect Dark Souls 3 to kind of play like a mix between the two titles. It's also similar to the recently released Nioh as well, so if you're enjoying that game, Dark Souls 3 and its 2 expansions will be good for you. There was some leaked footage of the first boss for this DLC, but don't worry, I'm not going to show it. Just be aware that this DLC holds true to the rest of the franchise and will not let you down. Just don't be surprised when you get your ass kicked all over the battlefield. The Ring City comes out on March 28th. These are just 5 of the biggest titles that are dropping March, and there are plenty of others for you to check out. Which one are you looking forward to? Gonna shell out the cash for a Nintendo Switch and embark on a new journey with everyone's favorite silent protagonist? Or thinking about getting crushed by towering enemies in the newest addition to Dark Souls 3? Let me know in the comments. And remember to like and share this video and subscribe to our channel to keep up with our top releases each month. You're watching Esports on PvP Live.